Hi, this is Don, Cowboy Biker Adventures. Today I have for you a complete tour of Sedona. This is a tour I took with Scenic Sedona Tours, and they let me film the whole 5-hour tour. Our tour guide is Mr. Clay, and he will be narrating the whole tour with fun facts about Sedona and also about the history of Sedona. This will be part 6 and the final part to get the whole tour in, and I'll pick up here where I left off on part 5. If you ever wanted to see Sedona in its entirety, this is your chance. This tour normally costs about $126, and in my case, senior cost was $108, and it's well worth it. But here you can see everything I saw. So let's get started with part 6. I think you're going to like it.
Hikers have reported being turned around. Yep. by men in suits or men, in military.
Well, usually they hire private companies because they can do stuff the military can't. Like Camel guys at Area 51, that's a private company. I had them chase me 20 miles one time. Make sure I left, even though I never broke the law. I was on BLM land, but I found a gate no one knows about on one of my motorcycles.
So tons of hiking, obviously beautiful views from Sedona. Some of the cleanest wine in the world, and hey, our Flamenco show has been called one of the best shows in the state. These are all things that you know. Now, we also hold we have a marathon that goes on once a year. It's become a half marathon because it gets really busy in town. How's my microphone? Is everyone able to hear me back there? Okay, just curious because I can't hear myself. Yeah, so a half marathon. We also host the Sedona International Film Festival, and that brings a lot of the celebrities back. Again, I hope everyone finds the time and gumption to make it up to the top of the vortex here to our right for the stunning views. My favorite views for sure. But you probably didn't know that we're also known for our fine handmade dark chocolate made here in Sedona. Raise your hand if you like chocolate. I talk a little bit about chocolate on my tours because, well, I just turned 40, and chocolate has kind of become my secret weapon when I have a long day of hiking or travel, general adulting. I really enjoy, the benefits of quality dark chocolate because science has proven chocolate has mood boosters, mood enhancers, to keep you level-headed even when the going gets tough is going to be, important. Especially with so much energy expenditure out on the trails, traveling. So, rest assured, the chocolate in this town is guilt-free. It's going to be sweetened with coconut sugar and oftentimes infused with supplements like ashwagandha, supplements to give you an additional medicinal benefit. Yes, cacao has caffeine, but it also kind of has this very clean energy that it kind of gives you throughout the day. So, consider next time you're tired or you're tired in the morning, before a long day, considering finding one of the chocolate shops located around town.
So we were on that road last night.
Which road?
Back from dinner.
Which road?
The one we just came down.
Oh, okay, airport. Okay, you're on Airport Road.
Something was in the road. Just standing there, and it was a wild boar, I assume.
Little pig.
Okay, so yeah, we they're not boars, and everyone calls them pigs because that's what they look like. They're an animal with a huge territory up into Nevada and the Southwest, but as far south as the Amazon. They're called collared peccaries, and they actually share more DNA in common with a deer or rodent, but they have really sharp teeth like a wild boar. They make sounds and they smell like a pig, so everyone calls them pigs. By the way, here's the chocolate tree here to my left. It's a juicery, a cafe, a chocolate shop, and a apothecary with a nice restaurant too. And even though I'm not a vegetarian, it's still one of my favorites. Anyways, that's there. Yeah, the Spanish gave them the name javelina, after the Spanish word for javelin or knife. And they really like Sedona because, when the closer they are to humans, the further away their predators are. Like the mountain lions and bears, bobcats.
Yeah,
I had
just standing in the street.
Oh yeah, and the thing is they can't, they don't see very well, and they don't hear very well. Their most evolved sense is a sense of smell, and so and if they can't smell you, they don't know that you're right there. Sometimes you'll be surrounded by a whole herd of javelina.
Well, you don't want them to know you're there, that's for sure.
They they're not aggressive by nature, but they'll definitely defend themselves. And all the herds are predominantly, they're all female. The males are ostracized at puberty, so they're cast away. And so you have huge herds around Sedona, sometimes 30 strong. All the females. And yeah, they can make a big mess of your neighborhood on trash day because they have a lot of brute strength and will push over. They'll push.
And do people hunt them?
Yeah, they are cold because the herds get out of control. The numbers. There's a restaurant here. It's one of my favorite restaurants. It's called the Coffee Pot. It's been favorite to some celebrities over the years, and I guess there was only 100 omelets on the menu when Elvis Presley walked in and ordered his favorite omelet. Does anybody know it? Yeah, peanut butter and jelly and banana omelet is what Elvis liked. It doesn't do anything for my appetite, but he was the king, and ever since then they've had 101 omelets on the menu. So if you look off to your left now, these structures, and also all the structures on the left side of the street here on Stutz Bearcat, are structural. They house businesses, but they were originally designed in the 30s as a movie set. So wine country is just 15 minutes to the west on the road to Cottonwood. Turn onto a road called Page Springs Road, and all those vineyards are open 7 days a week, pouring glasses and flights, music, entertainment on the weekends. Now, they do ship wine, just not during the warm months of the year. It has to be cold on the tarmac in Phoenix, or the winter. Because there's in these temperatures, there's a risk of wine becoming vinegar. So kids, I'm going to give you another bonus today. As our last stop, instead of going to the Amataba Stupa and Peace Park, which is open to the public, you're welcome to visit it at any time. It's right in the middle of Sedona. I'm actually going to take you to probably one of my favorite spots in the world for, again, absolutely tremendous views. I'm taking a little bit of a risk, I want you to know, because this knoll, this very top of this knoll, was owned by a woman who made a lot of money in her life and died very wealthy. Her name was Rachel Lund, and when in her later years she was seeing how developed Sedona was becoming, and then she also knew that her kids would probably siphon off her estate, she basically put this knoll, this one little piece of property, in the center of this golf course and development in a trust to the public. And so So it wouldn't have been sold off by your kids, and it would have stayed, and have the public would have access to it. The only risk that I'm taking is when they meet their quota, they'll turn us around. So if they've had enough people up on the Knoll, they'll turn us around. Still, there's going to be some beautiful sights, and even if they do turn us around, I'll still give you another stop, even if it means giving you some extra time. But I think it is definitely worth the risk, it's worth the gamble to take you out there for some of the most extraordinary views. And there's a lot of views on the way as well. So I mentioned, Sedona wasn't inhabited by the natives, by the First Nations, even though Arizona was home to more tribes than any other state in the U.S. at one point. Well, they didn't live in Sedona. It was the home of the gods, right? It was sacred and revered to them. But there was one tribe, a barefooted tribe, out of the Baja, associated with the Dene, and the Dene means the people. So, I don't think that they looked at the different tribes like different peoples like we do now. The different tribes and the different names. Dene is pretty much all-encompassing. They were all the people, right? Long story short, one tribe, a barefooted tribe, once every solar cycle, would leave Baja and travel through Arizona and spend about a week on spiritual pilgrimage behind Thunder Mountain. We're currently almost behind it now, where there are 7 canyons that today have pictographs and hieroglyphs and cliff dwellings from their visitations. But it was only one tribe. Otherwise, the other tribes, the Indigenous, they stayed out of Sedona for the most part.
It's very interesting up there.
Yeah, people. So, you ready for your word of the day? If you look up at the rocks, if you look up at the red rocks, and you see shapes, or you see familiar, or the clouds too, you see an airplane shape or an alligator, well, you may have taken psychedelics, or you're experiencing a phenomena that Walt Disney coined when he lived here. It's called pareidolia, and it can be your word of the day. Pareidolia is defined by one's ability to use their imagination to conjure images from the surroundings. And I think it's normal. It's very common to do here in Red Rock Country with all these lines and textures. The mind naturally wants to see the familiar. So you see faces, I'll see a lizard head, which is the one we just passed. Other people call it Eagle Rock. You can see different things. It's subjective.
Well, they drank a lot here, right?
There was probably some drinking and psychedelics. Yeah.
I mean, with all the wine, they drank a lot.
And
here.
the wine, right? Yeah. You got wine. You got distillers. So there's a place in the canyon. I just was reading. John Wayne was here. He loved Arizona, and he'd spend a lot of time in Oak Creek Canyon. By the way, this is the parking for Devil's Bridge, which is always, competing with Cathedral Rock for #1 hike destination. There's the parking. They just put all these boulders. There used to be parking on both sides of the street. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. How are you advertising internationally as one of the world's greatest tourist destinations and not giving anybody, a chance to park? Anyways.
Is there shuttles that bring you out here?
Yeah, I think the shuttle is why they're doing this. I think the shuttle wants to kind of funnel people around town and take all the autonomy out of it.
Well, that's just like Zion National Park. You can't drive into Zion National Park. The big park.
Before I forget, I almost lost my train of thought. So John Wayne has been here and stayed here for multiple movies. And he would actually go up Oak Creek Canyon to a spot we call bootleggers, where there were still some outlaws, even during the Depression or even during the Prohibition. you know, still making moonshine, and he'd go up there and he'd get tanked all night and still show up 4 o'clock in the morning on the movie set the next day. Now, I don't think I've ever seen him sober, but you know, he had work ethic, and he liked to drink. Yeah, he loved hanging out outside of Sedona, hanging out with real life outlaws, real life moonshiners in the canyon there, getting tanked all night on Arizona's finest moonshine.
Long Canyon.
Long Canyon is one of the 7 canyons.
It's just gorgeous.
Behind Thunder Mountain. I mean, what do you think of these views? Hey, first time in Sedona. What do you think so far?
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, right?
Yeah, it is.
In a lot of places, but it's nice. I mean, it's good.
Like I said, more hiking around Sedona than anywhere else in the country. I always suggest doing a little research, because you know, these trails all look the same, and you don't know if you're setting yourself out on a mile or 2 hike, or a 7 or 8 or 9 mile hike without a little research. Always, always, always take water everywhere you go here in Arizona, because you gotta hydrate or you... Now you're getting it.
What about snakes on all these trails?
So there are snakes, there are scorpions, a little bit less at this elevation. Central Arizona and Southern Arizona definitely have the you know, the highest concentration of snakes. Actually, what is kind of cool and what I recently read is for every rattlesnake species we have in Arizona, we have 5 species of snake that eat the rattlesnakes, like gardener snakes, corn snakes, you know, king snakes. So as far as snakes go, there's more friends out there than foes. But yes, you do want to watch your step. What I find is that, you know, you're out in the dry desert, you don't really see as much as you would, you know, right by Oak Creek, by the water and the tall grass. That's where I've seen most, or in the ivy. You know, they like hanging out by the water, you know, and within vegetation. So you can always come here, especially early in the morning. You know, they even if by now they've met their quota and they're gonna send us packing. Early in the morning. Well, it's a development. I'm well. How are you?
So that vehicle over there, if he wants to go up there, he can't go up there until you come out. We can't have these 2 vehicles up there at the same time.
Understood.
Just one at a time.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Just
you.
go down.
This is gonna sound cold, but that's his problem. I'm a retired school teacher, so this is all out of my league, price-wise. I promise.
Bless your heart. I didn't know you were a hero.
Yeah, well, thank you.
School teachers, firefighters,
35 years.
nurses, and mothers are my only true heroes.
Looks like a decent golf course.
I have to say, as far as golf courses go, this is probably the most prettiest. It's just beautiful. You'll see it from above.
Yep.
My mom's a retired school teacher as well, and she also lives in a development and on a golf course too. And let me tell you, golf is very much legal, and anyone can do it. You just pay. You go in Walmart. Buy a ball of Jim Beam and some ammo or golf balls or whatever you call them, and you can actually pay like $45 a day and go vandalize my mom's entire HOA.
Yeah.
Legal vandalism.
Yep.
You do it right.
I got a nephew who lives on a golf course in Henderson. It's like crazy. And the golf course is not responsible for damage.
I know. Yeah, my mom's had to replace her own windshield, glass in her vehicle multiple times. They don't cover any of it. And she doesn't golf, so I'm like, Mom.
I used to. I still got golf clubs with me. Not too many opportunities to play golf in an RV and on a motorcycle, though. This is a little bit steep.
Well, I hope that you agree that this is worth a little extra driving and a little extra wait time once you get up here and see these canyons that we're surrounded by.
There's somebody's house roof right there.
Well, that speaks highly of your character, but if I broke it, you got.
No. Don't even think about that. Forget it. It's all done. Okay. Rachel's no. Meantime, let's give you a panoramic view of this. What do you think, folks? Isn't this just gorgeous? Overlooking the golf course. Look at that. Oh yeah, that is pretty. Oh, you can walk out there on that point. You can walk out on that point. I'll let you do it. I mean, I'm better at heights than I used to be. When you get where you drive at 10,000 foot on the edge, but still not going to do that. And then somebody's house is right there. Huh. She is the very remarkable woman that made sure that her kids didn't get a hold of this and sell it. Public land. Good for her. Special human being. So,
we're a good couple miles outside.
What's your weather like? Usually, you got a hot summer and like. Yes, it get up to.
Temperatures into the hundreds in the summer, and then in the winter, snow, freeze.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can picture all.
So you basically have 4 seasons.
We have 4 seasons. How about this elevation?
Yeah.
what, about 20, 30 miles away, it's supposed to snow Friday.
Flagstaff, yeah.
Right. So Flagstaff, for example, you had skiers. We had an elongated ski season. People were skiing in May. Just above us, an hour north, is ski country. And during the season, snowboard and ski, and as soon as the ice, or as soon as the snow melts, they're up there on the lakes, water skiing. know, a lot going on and it's very saturated up here in northern Arizona. You know,
What's
just
that? Bill?
oh, so that is, you know, a house owned by a. I'm told it's owned by a Texas oil guy.
Oh, really?
Doubt he
And-
lives. Doubt he lives there. It's probably his.
Imagine he's not
Third or
happy with
fourth.
people being able to come up here, huh?
Well, he purchased that and they built the house relatively recently. Rachel had already established this Knoll,
Right.
put it in a trust to the public, and
Right.
so he may not like it, but
But he's
nothing
stuck
he can
with
do
it,
about
right?
it. Yeah.
I'm sure he's only there
Oh
a
yeah.
few weeks a year.
There's a saying. I think it kind of proves true, and at least around Sedona, there's three types of people. You know, there's the visitors, there's the people with 3 or more homes. They're not even here. Then you have the rest of us with 3 or more jobs keeping this town. You know.
Hey, I worked 2
Rough
jobs
it.
virtually all my
Yeah.
life.
Is that how it goes? Three or more jobs?
Yeah, I do this. I do wine tours, and I do this Sedona Flamenco show 3 nights a week, all through the summer. Yeah.
Now, do you have trips going on in the wintertime, or you did?
Well, the town is seasonal, you know. So this is the second busiest season. The busiest is the spring, and then again in the fall, and in the heat of summer and the cold of winter, the town is busy.
Not so much.
Yeah, snow's pretty for about 5 minutes. You know, it's kind of neat for about 5 minutes. And then I'm done. I've got a no snowflake policy. Even though I've been snowed on in Area 51.
Area 51 is snowing.
Yeah, it was snowing there last time I was there, which was October 2 years ago, right now. Actually, it may have been the first part of October. Yep. It snowed on me. And the only reason why I could do lives and stuff from there is because I've got Starlink, and so I took my own power, took my own Starlink, and I had signal. Because no cell phone will work around there at all. Nothing.
Did you see anything unexplainable while you were there besides the snow?
The first time I was there I was boondocking, and there was a jet directly over my head. I could feel it hovering. Total blue sky. You couldn't see it. You only could hear it. Now, I don't know if all that stuff comes from UFOs or it's just a very highly technical place that they're developing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that came from alien stuff. But I do believe they got cloaking devices.
I hope you enjoyed all 6 parts of Sedona Scenic Tours with Mr. Clay. I think he was very informative and funny, and he made it fun. My next adventure will be Verde Canyon Railroad with all its beautiful scenery. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll get notifications. So until next time, have a good one.